Welcome back everyone, and it's time to go balls deep into the absolute greatness that is Black Clover.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh my god! Okay, it's happening! Everybody stay calm! What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Exit option! Where do we go?
As we all know, Lucifer has been released from hell. So let's see how our favorite Magic Knight captains are doing.
Elliot!
Oh shit! I'm not gonna lie, it's not looking too good. I think someone is about to die.
Shut the fuck up!
Also, one more thing, check out Gamer Subs and use code ABD for 10% off at checkout. That's what makes me hype. Lucifer resurrected with Black Air Force energy, and he's slapping up the entirety of the Clover Kingdom's strongest captains. Charlotte even admitted in chapter 319 that if it wasn't for Real's Twilight of Valhalla spell, they'd all be toast and wouldn't even be standing, fam. Lucifer's power is so overwhelming that Sisgolion can't even burn him, Jack can't cut him, and even Nozel has been turned into Lucifer's very own personal and favorite punching bag at this point. All the captains make a combination of attacks at once, but Lucifer stares at them saying,
"Bitch, are you dumb?"
Oh my god!
None of them even scratch him. He repeats himself over and over on the Devil Bingo book, as I said, because you know, all devils have to say the same thing. And he tells all the captains that each and every one of their strongest spells against him are a waste of time and pointless. In fact, Lucifer states that the mere idea of humans challenging him in battle disgusts him, that these ants should be in despair and prostrating in his presence. However, Sisgolion pulls up and she says, "I ain't giving up," and then she states no matter how far beneath humans are in front of him, they've been granted the title of strongest already. Wait a second, Asta and Yuno can one-shot any of the captains anyway though. You're actually not the strongest. But in all seriousness, what she's trying to say is that since they've already been given the title of the strongest, they cannot give up in front of a Lucifer to prove that humans bestowing such a title actually means something. Now, it's not all a lost cause, because Asta appears behind him through the smoke and lands a direct hit on Lucifer. However, it only manages to cut off a part of his horn. Just like in the fight against Dante in chapter 243, Asta lands a small hit which enrages Lucifer, and he is all pissed.
I'm getting really sick of.
In true devil fashion, he lashes out and calls Asta scum, a damn brat, as he launches a huge gravity attack which knocks Asta into the ground, immediately knocking him unconscious. Lucifer continues on to scream at Asta, cussing him out like when my mom and dad found out that I failed to become a doctor. Or, you know, it kind of reminds me of those Modern Warfare 2 lobbies we all used to play like around 10 years ago. He screams saying, "Ah, you piece of trash! Magicless piece of trash! How dare you do this to my body!"
We don't care.
But before Lucifer can kill Asta, the Magic Knights come in to save him. Now think about it, we've come a long way since the early days of Black Clover, where all the royalty would look down at Asta purely due to his upbringing and having less magic power than them. This goes to show how Asta is already reaching Wizard King status. As Julius Novacronis said, that merit and results in front of people is one of the key things to reach this goal. Victory against uneven odds. We've already established in previous videos that Asta has the power to be a Wizard King already, and everyone is starting to acknowledge that. Even the captains can see that he is indeed the ultimate warrior and key to ending Lucifer's plan, as Nacht stated. From being a peasant that was seen as nothing but a waste of space and time, to now being the most important Magic Knight in the eyes to save the entire world, the Black Clover universe is truly trying to set up a dramatic event regarding Asta's supposed death. Asta can likely be the ultimate sacrifice to save the people that once berated him for being different, much like Lumiere, the first Wizard King. Now the royals and captains see it as the right thing to do to risk their own life for Asta, a mere peasant and magicless boy that they first considered, bruh, you're a waste of time, get out of my face. Now they're saying, yo, he's got clout now, my man's got drip, my man has 50 million followers and I only got 1 million followers, I want to be his friend. I'm kidding, okay. Oh, he did. What am I even saying? I kind of related it to my life now. Anyway, as they recognize Asta's merit now, which helped erase the divide between different cultures and social status, which was one of Asta's goal in the first place that he stated to Raya. Raya knew that Asta wasn't lying at that point. So Asta eventually wants to do this on a wider scale of society across the entire country. Now obviously there's still more to explore in the Black Clover's world, and thus there needs to be a logical way for Asta to be brought down a peg or two, and by having him supposedly killed and sent to hell, this would be the way in which Tabata achieves a soft reset for his character. Anyway, going back to chapter 320, like I said, the Magic Knight captains see how Asta's anti-magic attack actually worked, and thus realize that he's the main character of this actual manga, so they must protect him at all costs. However, Lucifer isn't done disrespecting everyone. He don't care who you are. My guy is gonna slap anyone that comes his way. Charlotte and Dorothy? Jack? Nozel? Well, you see, Nozel has the power of talk Najutsu on his side. He's talking about how Asta made him realize that no matter who you are, you can face adversity in the face and take it on, surpassing your limits, even if your enemy is far superior, so he can't lose. Oh wait, nah, here we go. Fugelion and Sisgolion, you know, siblings, the Vermilion siblings with the Salamander spirit too. Finally, some fighting power from the Magic Knights. Oh. Bruh, the disrespect has hit a whole new level, fam. My guy Lucifer used Fugelion and Sisgolion to destroy Real's Twilight of Valhalla. So now the plot armor for the captains has been destroyed too. As remember, this spell prevents death. Lucifer, I don't think you read the script of the manga. This is Black Clover. You're not meant to just stop Ashpool magic and reality can be whatever you want. You're not meant to destroy the plot armor of the protagonist. You know what I'm saying? The good guys are meant to win. What's going on?
What happened to the original plot of the movie?
Meanwhile, the other Supreme Devil continues to watch on, and he states how they were only able to fight thanks to Real's magic, and that they did well, but they're only humans, so it's impossible for them to win now since the spell is gone. Lucifer, without any more nuisances to worry about, goes to land a final blow on Asta. He goes to use his gravity magic to land a heavy stomp straight to him with his stinky ass feet.
Disgusting!
This is the downfall of Asta, proving himself as a worthy human. He may have changed the view of the nobles and the people of the kingdom to recognize him as a hero. However, it also had the opposite effect too. Lucifer went from calling Asta and Liebe a low-ranking nobody with poultry magic to the root of all his problems, showing that he too has recognized Asta and Liebe. But before he can land the killing stomp, Yuno saves the day. That's right, Yuno has shown up and used his star magic to teleport Asta away to safety and begin being healed by Mimosa, which means he will be able to fight again pretty soon. After all of these years, Yuno finally repaid the debt he had to Asta from their childhood, and has also accomplished what Zenon couldn't, as he keeps paralleling his character. Yuno has saved his friend from a devil where Zenon couldn't. There's one thing, however, really important to take away from this final panel. You will notice how Yuno, Asta and Mimosa are seemingly encased in a dome, similar to Yami's Black Moon spell. In here, they're unaffected by Lucifer's magic as well, making it even more similar to Yami's spell. Well, as you guys know, I have a degree in anime bullshit science, and I can use it yet again to explain exactly what is happening and how it makes them immune. A star's life is a constant battle with gravity. Gravity constantly strives to bring the star down. The star's core is extremely hot, causing pressure in the gas. This pressure counteracts gravity, bringing the star into what is known as a hydrostatic equilibrium, causing the forces of gravity and pressure to be perfectly balanced. Yuno's stars are providing that pressure to counteract Lucifer's gravity, and by that creating a condensed mana zone to create a tiny domain type area. He is able to give those inside of it immunity. Yuno's stars are providing that pressure to counteract Lucifer's gravity, and by creating a condensed mana zone to create a tiny domain type area, he is able to give those inside of it immunity, thus giving it a chance to defeat Lucifer, as they will be able to move freely. The thing is, however, is that Yuno doesn't realize that Lucifer's hands are rated E for everyone, and I'm sure he's gonna get slapped up next week too. However, there may be a much worse fate at the hand for Yuno than just getting his cheeks clapped by a devil. With Yuno's wind magic, he had many different forms and spells, including ones that were named after different kinds of Greek anime. You had Spirit of Zephyr, which is a light breeze, named after the Greek god Zephyrus of the west wind. He then had the Spirit of Boreas, the Greek god of the north wind. The Spirit of Eros is based off the southeast wind in Greek mythology. The only form that he hasn't had from the 4 Greek wind deities is Notus, which tells us that he still has more in his arsenal for his wind magic. Now why though? And you're probably thinking, what? He now has star magic, which seems like it could be a superior magic type. Well, there is a possibility that his star magic won't last forever, or even his wind magic. Something has to be sacrificed. And if we really want to crank the risk factor up to 100%, this power may even kill Yuno. Like his wind magic, Yuno's star magic follows a real world relation to stars. There's one of 2 ways this can go. It could follow the real world life cycle of a star, in which there are multiple stages, and judging from this chapter, Yuno is still at stage 1, where the star forms in a high density region called a nebula that contracts under its own gravity. However, there's further stages which I will quickly go over now, which we could see Yuno evolve into. Protostars form when a region of condensing matter begins to heat up and glow, reaching up to 15 million degrees Celsius. At this temperature, nuclear reactions can start as the star begins to emit energy, which prevents it from constricting any further and causing it to shine. The star has now been designated as a main sequence star. It stays like this for about 10 billion years until all of the hydrogen has fused to produce helium, and a shell around the star's core, it actually begins to manifest. The heat from the helium causes the outer layers to start expanding, chill, and lose their glow, which gives birth to a red giant. When the helium core runs out, the outer layer shell drifts away from the core. This shell is known as the planetary nebula. The remaining core, which is about 80% of the original star, is then near its completion. The star cools and dims as the core becomes a white dwarf. The star is then dead, ultimately known as a black dwarf, as it stops shining. So in short, what I'm trying to say is that Yuno is either going to die by overusing his star magic, or he will at least lose it by using it too much to help defeat Lucifer. We also see from last year's online expo of Black Clover, where there was the panel of Asta and Yuno from chapter 1, where the 2 became rivals. Next to the box, it states promise, and we see that along with Yuno too, he has been burned away. This could be foreshadowing and symbolism that their promise would be broken and that Yuno could even perish, burning up just like a star. The other possibility, and one that may fit in with what Tabata has based Black Clover on, is continuing with the Greek mythology references by giving Yuno even more new transformations by basing each one off the zodiac star signs. However, considering that Yuno's new anti-gravity domain exists, it seems to tell us that he is following the path of a star's life cycle. Or, you know, this is Black Clover, it could be both. Did you guys know when Black Clover was still in its early stages, for example, Tabata was actually going to kill off Yuno? That's right, and that means that the whole Green Burial storyline never even would have happened. When it comes to stories, there's usually a lot of left out content that never makes it to actual pages. However, sometimes authors draw inspiration from old ideas to make the story move forward. Even if Tabata won't follow through with it today, we could still see him metaphorically kill Yuno off. off. Now I know how it sounds, but you guys need to hear me out for a second. In the expo picture, the word promise has been burnt up. This could represent the fact that Yuno and Asta's promise is broken in the very near future, because remember, the expos aren't always meant to be taken so literally. The expo has foreshadowed that the captain's pride would be destroyed alongside Julius, which we saw against the ancient demon. The expo had also foreshadowed the fact that Liebe's name was related to love, Liebe meaning love in German, and that got confirmed too. And finally, the expo has also foreshadowed the fact that the fourth Socrates sibling actually existed to begin with. Time and time again, it's proven itself that Tabata very much likes to foreshadow things every year, and there is no mistake or detail that we can't just take it as, oh, nothing's gonna happen. Something between Asta and Yuno will happen, as it's been foreshadowed in this picture. Whether that is Yuno dying, or Yuno breaking his promise to Asta by becoming the Spade King, or Asta dying according to Julius's prediction that tears them apart, something else Yuno could lose is his grimoire. We know he has a 4-leaf grimoire which can be very valuable to a devil. Zagrid said in chapter 198 that when the host of a 4-leaf clover falls into despair, it becomes a 5-leaf, which we saw happen with Licht and Patri. When a devil with a physical body and a pitch black grimoire are brought together, the devil manifests in their true power and form. This would be the perfect chance for Lucifer to complete his manifestation after Asta disrupted it. Lucifer could likely see Yuno's 4-leaf grimoire and see this as a chance to take it as his own and complete manifestation, which is really scary to think about considering he's slapping everyone up at just 50% of his power. Imagine him at 100%. It is truly game over. All that is needed is a catalyst to cause Yuno to fall into despair, right? Which could be the death of William, as Yuno holds a bond with his captain, or alternatively his story could further parallel Xenon where Asta dies. Maybe Yuno will be the one responsible for Asta's death, which Julius mentioned. He may be the one to kill him, just like how Xenon killed Alan. Knowing he killed his best friend and rival would easily send Yuno into a spiral of despair, corrupting his grimoire and turning it pitch black, giving Lucifer the chance to take it for himself. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time.